Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, shills, death slayers, peasants, vassals, minions, meat sacks, corrupt congressmen. Oh, boy, that sure covers a lot of ground. I'm Useful Idiot, welcome. And let's go to the not-so-good old USA again and look at the fact that the new rules in the House, voted on by the House of Representatives, the part of the United States Congress, they have new rules that allow House members to hide their records from ethics probes. And once again, kind of like we see in geopolitical and military maneuvers all around the world, our own government and Congress tends to file controversial legislation like this, either in the dead of night or in the midst of all sorts of controversies. And of course, we have all the Trump mania going on right now, and the Russian witch hunt and all this other horseshit. And so people aren't going to notice stuff like this, but this is the kind of stuff that really matters to our congressmen. So they're jumping right on this, taking advantage of the chaos and implementing their dream legislation. In this case, they're going to gut the ability of ethics probes. And of course, we had this situation where the House GOP and tried to gut the office of congressional ethics, and it failed. And I want to note too that one of the reasons it failed was public outcry, but one of the other reasons it failed that people don't want to talk about is the fact that Trump was actually against gutting the congressional ethics office, and it was actually the status quo GOP that were doing this, and then their cohorts and brethren, the Democrats in Congress, of course, are going along with this, and they can go along with it just by not voicing any opposition to it. But anyway, so the congressional ethics, gutting the Office of Congressional Ethics failed, so they just introduced this other legislation, and it is now going to effectively shield any expenditures the politicians have from investigations. So the new regulation states, quote, records created, generated, or received by the congressional office of a member are exclusively the personal property of the individual member and such member, and that member has control over those records, unquote. So pretty straightforward. The fact is that all this crap that goes on in congressional with each congressional office is now going to be a little more out of reach legally, and they don't even have to reveal this stuff. And perfect timing too, because we, like I say, we have the Congress is going to be controlled by Republicans. We have a Trump administration coming in, and then they can, even though this is being done right now, it'll be something that if it blows up, it'll be on the Trump watch, and we'll have more controversy. But interestingly, one of the reasons why this came up, they note an example of ongoing Office of Congressional Ethics interview or review. They don't want to call it an investigation or indictment or anything, but there's allegations of campaign fund fraud against Representative Duncan Hunter, a Republican from California. And there's charges that he used campaign fund money to pay for his kids' private school tuition, for Disneyland trips, jewelry, video games, sporting goods, and even $600 worth of airline fees for his pet rabbit. So this is the kind of stuff we expect. And as I say, if one's doing it, they're all doing it. And it's a no-brainer when it comes to congressmen. They all use all their campaign funds and all this public money as slush funds for their personal shit and to live the extravagant lifestyles to which they're accustomed. And here we go again. So now with these new rules, Representative Duncan Hunter and all the other corrupt congressmen on both sides of the supposed aisle can now continue to use all that money for slush funds and spend taxpayer money on all the kind of frivolous shit that they love. And we won't be able to even know about it because they own it. And of course, that's a problem too, because these are public servants. Why the fuck would all their personal records be unavailable to the public? We pay their salaries. They're supposed to serve us. But of course, the answer is they're an elitist class that is above all the laws that they create for all us peasants. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.